I do want to say that I am formally starting a boycott against Holo Taco. I feel personally attacked, and I'm truly really upset about what has happened. I'm really upset. Hi friends, it's Nicole. Welcome back to the channel. So today's video, I have the newest and biggest release from Holo Taco. To celebrate Christine's birthday for 2024, we have the Birthstones collection. There are a total of 12 limited edition nail polishes in this release. As I keep saying, this is the biggest release we've ever gotten from Holo Taco, and I feel like there are a lot of feelings to be had about that. The Birthstone collection is available right now on the Holo Taco website.
You sure about that?
This release is described as being limited edition.
You sure about that?
According to some stuff going on Holo Taco social media pages, it does seem like polishes that are the most popular from this release have the potential to come back. I did receive all of the polishes in this release from the brand in PR. This video is not sponsored, and thank you very much to Holo Taco for gifting me these polishes. As always, in the description box, I will have links to the Holo Taco website, their social media pages, my social media pages, and of course, timestamps as well. And as always, I will save all of my final thoughts and sale deets for the end of the video. Let's get into this one. Hi, editing Nicole here. I just wanted to pop in and give like a preface for this. As I'm recording these voiceovers, the polishes are currently selling out at a very quick rate. I'm currently anticipating that by the time I finish recording these voiceovers, that a lot, if not most of the polishes are going to be sold out. And I know a lot of folks are likely going to be pretty bummed out about that. I will say this now. Holo Taco did say that some of these shades are likely to get restocked at a later date. I'm hoping that since these are selling out so fast that they might restock the whole release. So I know a lot of people are likely feeling very FOMO, they're scared of missing out, or they did miss out. And I just want to say this as someone who has been buying nail polish for like literal decades at this point. There is no such thing as a truly unique nail polish. Whenever a nail polish is truly unique, I will bet you $1 billion somebody is going to dupe it. It is just what happens with nail polish. We've been seeing this for literal decades. If something is super popular, another brand is going to dupe it. Whether they dupe it on purpose or pure coincidence, it is going to get duped. That is just the nature of things. And I really don't want anyone to be hopping on these secondhand sites or being taken advantage of by sellers who are selling one of these bottles that were originally $14 for like $80. Please do not feed into that. I have spent the past few years purchasing Holo Taco polishes just like the rest of you, and I say this with all of the love in my heart. There is no nail polish worth stressing yourself out over FOMO. There just isn't. So if you missed out on any of the shades that are currently out of stock, make sure to click the notify me button on the website, and when it gets restocked, you will get notified. Or you can use this as an opportunity to try brands that also release polishes like these. And I say this as someone who currently owns 6,036 bottles of nail polish. Nothing here is so unique that you need to lose sleep over or stress yourself out on because you missed out. Please don't do that to yourself. So thank you all for listening to that, and let's get into the video for real this time. Going in calendar order, we have Gosh Garnet. Holo Taco describes this one as a deep garnet burgundy shimmering metallic formula with a subtle red to bronze color shift. Gosh Garnet had a pretty nice formula. This one was a little bit on the thicker side. Not so thick that I had to add any thinner to it, but it was thick enough that on my thumb here, it was a one coater on me. When I was doing my full hand swatches, it wasn't quite a one coater, but my nails are significantly longer than my thumb is. As a January baby, I hate this for us.
Hate it, hate it, hate it.
Okay, I admit I'm being overly dramatic. This is a beautiful polish. It's actually a lot nicer than I was expecting it to be. The shimmer in here is super strong and it's actually surprisingly color shifty. It has like a kind of like a burgundy kind of red to a gold to like with green at very extreme angles. But I will fully admit, as someone who absolutely loves glitter, I just really hate the fact that my birth month polish is the one polish in this release that doesn't feature anything sparkly or glittery or holographic. I'm just honestly very upset by this. I will also admit that I'm being very conceited when I say this, but I truly feel like this is a personal attack against me and me alone, because like I know Holo Taco has my birthday, and I kind of feel like me constantly saying that I wish Holo Taco would release more glitter, and then like for a 12-piece release, the only polish that doesn't have something sparkly is the one that my birth month is in.
That's suspicious.
I am not usually one to follow conspiracy theories, but I don't know. It seems a little suspicious to me. That's all I'm saying. Anywho, I will say, unless you have fairly short nails or go in for thicker coats, I will call this one a 2 to 3 coater depending on application style and personal preference. My full-in swatches show Gosh Garnet in 2 coats plus a glossy top coat. This does dry down fairly flat, so you will definitely want top coat for a glossy finish, and removal will be super duper easy. This next polish is called Crystal Mommy. Holo Taco describes this one as an amethyst crushed holographic formula with a scattered holographic as well as a pink micro shimmer underglow. Crystal Mommy had a fantastic formula. This one is a bit more sheer than the last shade, so you do want to build this one up to get the most opacity going. I'm going to call Crystal Mommy a 2 to 3 coater depending on how you feel about visible nail line. Coverage is really even, I found, in 2 coats, but my nail line was fairly obvious, so I did opt to add a 3rd coat for my full-hand swatches. Pink shimmer in this polish gives this an overall very kind of pinky toned kind of look. Like, it's definitely purple, but if you don't like pink, you're going to be kind of like matte over this one. The holographic flakes, however, are absolutely gorgeous. This is a very holographic polish I found. The flakes do not dry down with like glitter texture, but I call it like flake texture, so you will want top coat just to smooth everything out and give you a nice glossy finish. Removal for this one will not be overly difficult, but it will be fairly messy, and for that I would recommend the soak off method. Next up we have Happily Ever Aqua. Holo Taco describes this one as a pale aquamarine linear holographic with a cyan colored shimmer. Happily Ever Aqua also had a fantastic formula. I was pleasantly surprised at how opaque this polish was. Because this is such a light shade, I honestly expected it to be a solid 3 coater. I found on my current nail length for my full-in swatches, I only used 2 coats to reach full opacity. I always forget that Holo Taco's linear holo shades are generally pretty opaque. I said it before, I will say it again. I always really love it when a linear holographic also has a shimmer added, and that is because when not in bright direct lighting, linear holographics honestly look boring. Kind of boring. So when a shimmer is added to a linear holographic, it in essence means that when you're not getting like the full boom holographic effect on the nail, you still have a really pretty shimmer to look like, because linear holographics when not in bright direct lighting can look a little underwhelming in comparison to how it looks in bright direct lighting. If you are new to linear holos, these kind of give you all of like the bright in your face holographic as a holographic glitter just without any of the texture. These all dry down very smooth, but they also dry down fairly dull, so you will definitely want glossy top coat to bring these back to life. I am not generally one to really care for super icy looking shades. It's just not my thing personally, so I was pleasantly surprised at how much I really liked how this one looked on me. Super easy removal on this one, but it will be a little bit messy from all of the pigment. This next shade is called Ride or Diamond. Holo Taco describes it as a silver diamond extra holographic multi-pigment glitter formula with scattered holographic, linear holographic flakes, as well as reflective glitter. No surprise to anyone, Ride or Diamond had a good formula, but this one was very thick. I honestly did expect this one to be on the thicker side because like I love me some glitter. I know they tend to be fairly thick, but this was so thick that I did need to add some thinner to it. I've got a little video up in the corner now of how thick this was when I first opened it. So I added thinner. I did find that this applied and had just a beautiful formula, but like this is going to be a fairly thick polish. And if you can put up with some glitter thickness, the sparkle level in this one is unreal. I absolutely love how sparkly this is. There is so much sparkle happening in Ride or Diamond that your eyes honestly don't know where to look because there's just so much going on. Full-in swatches here show Ride or Diamond in 3 coats with 2 coats of top coat to smooth all the glitters out. I will call this one a 2 to 3 coater depending on application style. 2 coats coverage is pretty passable, but I did have a little bit more nail line than I personally wanted. Ride or Diamond is not a dupe for Holo Taco's Rainbow Snow, which is pictured here on the left. Like there's clear differences between the two. I will say, even though there are a ton of different holographic elements to this polish, I did find from arm's length away, it just still looked like a silver holographic micro glitter to me. The only major difference is I could see some silver reflex from the reflective glitter. However, I will say though, on the nail from arm's length away, it looks like you're wearing a silver holographic micro glitter. All of the extra holographics, you don't really see it very well. The only ones that really pop really well, for me at least, I found was the glitter shred kind of style and then the reflective glitter. Top of being glitter thick, this is also going to dry down very textured. You're going to want a minimum of 2 coats of top coat to smooth all of those glitters out. The combination of micro glitter and reflective glitter are going to make this one incredibly difficult to remove if you attempt to scrub this polish off.
Don't do it. You'll regret it, man.
If you take away anything from this video, do not scrub glitter nail polishes off. Soak that off. Do not scrub. If you don't already know about the soak off method, you are seriously missing out, especially when removing these kind of specialty finishes. I will have a video linked in the description box to help you out. This next polish is called Emerald City, and Holo describes it as a cool emerald green iridescent flake formula with a deep green jelly base and scattered holographic. Emerald City also had a really good formula. The base did not feel overly thick or thin, and I had zero application issues. This is another one that I will call a 2 to 3 coater depending on personal preference and maybe even your nail length. For my full hand swatches, I opted to swatch this one in 2 coats. I had some very slight regrets on only doing 2 coats for this swatch when I brought this one outside and saw how strongly I had nail line. The flakies in here are so damn beautiful. I honestly regret a little bit that I didn't think to add a matte top coat until this very second, because I really feel like this would look fantastic with a matte top coat. This shade of green also feels very like transitional from fall to winter to me. Nothing in here is going to dry down overly textured, but you will definitely want some top coat for the flakies. They won't dry down gritty like a glitter, but they'll dry down with a flaky like texture, so you definitely want top coat to smooth those out. Removal won't be overly difficult, but I still would not recommend scrubbing this one off. And now we have the Price Is Alexandrite. Holo described this one as a multi-chrome formula that shifts from a teal to a purple with purple metallic foil flakes as well as scattered holographic. And in case anyone was wondering what was up with the beginning of the live swatch, in short, I think the polish was reacting to the oil that I might have had on my nail. I oil my finger in between swatches because in case you weren't aware, putting polish on and off over and over again over the course of several hours is kind of harsh on your skin, so sorry I over greased. The Price Is Alexandrite had a fantastic formula. This was again a little bit on the thicker side, but still I would say this had a fantastic formula. This did have a very slight texture from the flakes. Any and all texture did smooth out really easily with 1 coat of top coat. The multi-chrome in here was super color shifty. It was a bit more color shifty than the official description would make you think. I was seeing a teal to blue to purple with pink at very extreme angles. The addition of the holographic made this polish look absolutely gorgeous. Nothing in here is going to be overly difficult to remove, but it will be fairly messy. I would once again recommend the soak off method rather than scrubbing this one off, but you could scrub it if you really wanted. This next shade is called Ruby Madly Deeply. It's called Ruby Madly Deeply, and Holo describes it as a bright ruby red glitter formula with a red jelly base and holographic glitter. Ruby Madly Deeply had a good formula, however this was another one of the polishes in the release that I opted to add some thinner to. Ruby Madly Deeply is yet another shade to me that just screams holiday season. This is another shade that is just super duper sparkly. I absolutely love the holographic glitters in here, and while I am not personally of the mind that something has to be unique to be pretty, I do think as far as dupeability goes, this is probably going to be something that's going to be really easy to dupe. I feel like most brands probably have a shade similar to this that gets released as we get closer to the holiday season. And again, that does not take away from just how pretty this polish is. I was really pleasantly surprised by the level of opacity that I was able to get with this one in only 2 coats. Because of how thick this one was, I really was not super inclined to want to try to go in for 3 coats with it, especially since I knew I was going to need at least 2 coats of top coat to smooth the glitters out. I did have a little bit of nail line with this one, but not so much that I would say I would go in for a 3rd coat. I think between the base being fairly pigmented as well as there being just so much sparkle action happening, it was really hard to really pinpoint my nail line. You will definitely want to use the soak off method or wear a peel off base coat with this one. Removal is going to be brutal if you try to scrub it off. This next shade is called Periodon't Bother Me, and Holo describes it as a peridot lime green shimmer formula with a yellow green color shift as well as green reflective glitter. Don't Bother Me also had a fantastic formula. This one was, no surprise, slightly on the thicker side. I am guessing that thickness is largely due to the reflective glitters. If you are unaware, reflective glitter generally makes polishes a bit more thicker than they normally would be, as well as giving them quite a bit of texture. I am still in the middle of my green polish loving kick, so I absolutely love this color. I will also admit, while currently being in love with greens lately, I also really love the golden shimmer this polish has. I stand on this. Any kind of shimmer that has gold involved in it makes everything so much better. My full hand swatches here are showing Periodon't Bother Me in 2 coats plus a glossy top coat. I do, however, think this might be a 2 to 3 coater, again, depending on how you feel about visible nail line. I personally thought coverage was fantastic in 2 coats. I didn't feel super inclined to want to go in for a 3rd coat. While Holo Taco does describe this as having green reflective glitter, I found for my eye, if I hadn't known that this had green reflective glitter in it specifically, I would have really struggled with telling you what color reflective glitter I was seeing. Sometimes a tinted base can affect what color of the reflective glitter that you're seeing, and I just couldn't tell if it was green because of the base or if the actual glitters themselves were green. Like, I definitely was seeing green sparkles. Don't know if that's important at all, but I wrote it in my notes, so I thought to mention it. Because this is a reflective glitter polish, you're going to want to go in for 2 coats of top coat to make sure everything is nice and smooth. And please do not scrub this polish off. Soak it off. Or wear a peel off base coat. Reflective glitter in particular is very prone to scratching your nail plate if you scrub it off, so seriously, don't scrub it off for your nail health. This next polish is called Playing with Sapphire, and it's described as being a deep sapphire blue iridescent flake formula in a dark blue jelly base and scattered holographic. If ever there was a polish to freak somebody out who's not used to specialty formulas on the first coat, I feel like this one might freak some people out. It is very sheer and very uneven on that first coat. You definitely want to build this one up in order to really make it look very, very nice. I only did 2 coats for the live swatches, but I do think this one looks best in 3 coats. This is another one of the shades that I did end up having to add some thinner to my bottle. This one was another one that was just like a little bit too thick for me personally, but once I had the thinner added, I was really happy with this formula. This is a beautiful, deep, dark sapphire blue. Like, it feels like it has this like a little bit of like blackenedness to it. I ran out of daylight for this swatch, so we're here just in my nail room kind of walking around. Flakies in here all laid down very, very flat, but you still will want top coat for a nice glossy finish. It won't be overly difficult, but as per usual, I do recommend the soak off method. Next up, we have Birthday Brat. Holo Taco describes this one as a bright pink topaz frosted metal with a silver and rose gold metallic foil flakes, iridescent flakes, and scattered holographic. I was actually really surprised that we got this style of frosted metals in this release. After the release of Silent Library last month with the kind of new-ish frosted metal formula, I thought this kind of frosted metal was like a thing of the past. Honestly, I like this style of frosted metal shade a lot more than I like the one in Silent Library. I'm just really, really hopeful that this doesn't have the tarnishing issue that some of the other frosted metal shades have. Anywho, I love this shade. Of course, it's pink. Of course, I'm gonna like it. I don't know for sure because obviously I'm not in the lab with Holo Taco when they're formulating things, but I feel like the flaky composition of this frosted metal is slightly different than some of the other frosted metals. On top of being slightly larger inside, I do think this one also seems to photograph a bit better than past frosted metal shades did, because like some of those is photographed so butt ugly and like you lose all of the dimension for some reason in photos and videos. Based on the thickness of coats that I was doing, I honestly did not see a huge difference between 2 coats and 3 coats. On my pointer finger is in 3 coats and then the rest of my nails are in 2 coats. Nothing in here is going to dry down overly textured. You will definitely still want top coat to give this a nice smooth glossy finish. Removal will be fairly easy but very messy. I would recommend the soak off method for the easiest, cleanest removal. This next polish is called Topez Tears. Holo Taco describes it as a dark antique topaz flake formula in a cool brown jelly base, green to gold iridescent flakes, bronze shimmer, and gold scattered holographic. Topaz Tears had a fantastic formula. On that first coat, it's a little bit uneven, looks kind of sketch, but don't worry, build it up and it'll be perfect. My full hand swatches show Topaz here in 2 coats plus glossy top coat. While I do love this shade with all of my heart, it is not at all the color I was expecting for Topaz. Don't get me wrong, because I absolutely love a brown base. I think Holo Taco should do more browns, but I honestly was thinking there was going to be something like gold or even like a burnt orange kind of shade. So the fact that this one is such a dark brown with a whole lot of like green and yellow, I'm just kind of just like Topaz wear.
I want to know where to go. I want to go. Give me the gold.
Despite this looking like it'd be a straight beast to remove, it's not going to be that bad. I still would not recommend scrubbing this one off. Between the flakies and the glitter, it's just going to not be super fun times, but it's not going to be as difficult to remove as say a micro glitter. I definitely recommend the soak off method or a peel off base coat for the easiest removal. And the final polish in this release is called Tanzanite Away. Holo Taco describes this one as a Tanzanite-inspired shimmer formula with a royal indigo jelly base, red magenta micro shimmer, scattered holographic, and blue reflective glitter. There is just something about base colors like this that I both love and fear so very strongly. I love it because, like, duh, it's so pretty. How could I not love it? But I fear it because this just looks like nail staining in a bottle to me, and I'm always just like, please don't stain, please don't stain, please don't stain me every single time I wear a color like this. I did not personally experience any staining with this one, but I had it on for like 30 minutes top. So like seriously, if you get this one and you decide to wear it, please double up on your base coat if your nails are particularly prone to staining. Formula on Tanzanite Away was pretty good, slightly on the thicker side, again from those reflective glitters, but not so thick that I needed to add any thinner to this one. I did notice that the shimmer has a very slight color shift when I brought it out into natural lighting. I could see like a little bit of like an orangey gold and like a tiniest hint of green. I don't know if the hint of green was coming from like the grass, the bush, whatever, there's greenery out there, but I was seeing like a tiny hint of it. Here, the blue reflective glitter came out very, very strong. Olean swatches show Tanzanite Away in 2 coats plus 2 coats of glossy top coat. All of the glitter polishes in this release, by the way, I did pair these with a glitter smoothing top coat. I do find those smooth glitter a lot better than just 2 coats of regular glossy top coat. I'll have my favorite one linked in the description box. Removal will be a bit more on the difficult side due to those reflective glitters. I do not recommend scrubbing this polish off again because of those reflective glitters, but also because this is a fairly pigmented base and you really don't want to scrub in all those kind of pigments into your nails. It just adds to your nails staining more. Use the soak off method. I would caution against a peel off base coat if your nails are particularly prone to staining, but if you're out here wearing peel off base coats all the time, you probably don't care about nail staining anyway. Alrighty, so final thought. Let's start with the positives. I absolutely love the fact that we have a whole variety of finishes in this release. I feel like 12 polishes is a very large amount for a collection, especially a limited edition release, but I really gotta say I love the color story. I love just all of the variety of finishes that we got in this release. As someone who regularly always says that I wish Holo Taco would do more like multi-finish releases, I am very, very happy with that. On the negative side, I feel personally victimized by Holo Taco and I'm genuinely very upset. As a January baby, I was really looking forward to the January polish. I knew going into January, since January is the Garnet, in case you were unaware, I knew going into it that I likely wasn't going to be like absolutely in love with the color because like I'm very hit or miss with reds, especially darker reds. But the fact that, you know, Garnet is the only polish in this entire release that doesn't feature like glitter or flakies or something truly sparkly honestly breaks my heart, and I feel personally victimized by Holo Taco. I'm gonna start a boycott. So yeah. Please no, I'm truly joking, by the way. I know some of y'all don't pick up on sarcasm well. If you are new to my community over here, we have an ongoing joke about boycotting things. So I'm not really boycotting the brand. Please, like, seriously, don't take me seriously. But Holo Taco, I know y'all have my birthday, so like I still feel very victimized right now. I was pleasantly surprised that it had some color shiftiness going on because like the description doesn't make it sound like it's gonna be color shifty, but like I did appreciate that it was. Like I feel like that was the thing that got me to like it, because like I kid you not, I was opening the package and profanities. I was cussing up a storm when I saw my birthday month was not in fact going to be glitter. I was honestly really upset by that. Y'all let me know what you think. I feel like I almost always dislike the color that gets picked for me as like an Aquarian who is born in January. I remember when I did my OPI video last year for the collection, they had kind of like some zodiac inspired names. I feel like I remember a lot of y'all saying that you also feel like your zodiac sign, you're always disappointed by the color. Is this like just a thing that happens, that what colors we like in our nail polish don't align with our zodiac astrological stuff? I don't know. Let me know. Someone who follows that stuff better than I do. Let me know if that's like a thing. I will fully admit, I kind of hate the concept of a 12-piece release that's limited edition that has no chance of getting restocked and potentially will sell out. It's super common in the indie, in like the smaller indie nail polish space, I should say, to have like limited edition releases that are around this size. But I feel like the chances of restocks tend to be a little bit higher. I'm honestly having a harder time than I thought I would deciding which of these polishes are going to be like my top picks. Birthday Brat is going to be a standout for me. I really slept on the frosted metal polishes when they initially came out. I think Favorite Sister probably was the first frosted metal shade that I actually really loved. But there is just something about a pink frosted metal shade that I really love, and I'm praying to the gods. Nail gods, please don't let this one tarnish. Let us have a pink one. Don't let this one tarnish. Next up is going to be Tanzanite Away. I just really like the color combination of that one. I am currently in my green polish loving phase of life, so Periodon't Bother Me is also going to make it to the top picks list. I just really like the color combinations in that one. I'm going to give Ride or Diamond an honorable mention. I am kind of a sucker for a holographic glitter mix, and this one I really liked. I think the standout component in this one, which I don't really feel like you can see it very well when you build this one up in 3 coats, like is this a little bit too sparkly to see individual elements? Those little holographic shred things that are in here, the glitter shreds, I just really, something about those I really like. I think if I go back to wear this one for personal wear, I likely would stop in 2. And I also want to give Topez Tears as another honorable mention. I, again, really like the color combinations of this one. I would love to know what everyone else thought of this release. Are you planning on picking it? Have you already picked it up? Y'all know the drill. Let me know all your thoughts and feelings. Also, if you're going to join me in the Holo Taco boycott, let me know. Please let me know if you're pissed off about your birthday month. At the time of recording, this release is not yet up on the website, and I did not receive any kind of pricing information. Holo Taco polishes are generally priced between $12 and $14, so the price point's probably going to be in there. I do know there's also going to be a bundle listing available if you want to like go hard and purchase all 12 shades. According to the sale info that I did receive, there also is going to be a limited edition vanilla scented nail oil pen. Before we end today's video, I do want to give a very special shout out to my channel members. Shenanigang, your names of course all on the screen right now. Also, just a heads up, I did make some changes to my channel memberships. I added a couple of more tiers, and I also have a new feature where folks on the channel memberships do get exclusive videos that are just for channel members. On top of exclusive videos, we also have members only live streams that happen as well. There's actually a members only live stream happening in about 20 minutes from now. Well, when you guys watch this, it would have happened a couple of days ago, but for me, it's 20 minutes from now. If any of that sounds of interest to you, there is a link for channel memberships in the description box, or you can click join next to the subscribe button. And I do want to say super thank you to all of the folks who have signed up for channel memberships. Seriously, it's amazing. I love the interactions with you all, but please do not feel pressure to sign up for channel memberships. Just like this video, comment, share, subscribe, all of the things. If you like seeing my face on here on the YouTubes, I also have a second YouTube channel where I post all of my non-nail polish nonsense. It is just Nicole Danielson, which is my name. Hi. Which is also linked in the description box, or you can click search if you're link phobic or whatever. So just thank you all for joining me for today's video. I truly hope you enjoyed it. I hope everyone has a fantastic weekend. Happy shopping, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!